welcome to another show of Don't Get This Twisted. I am Rob, along with my co-host as always, Tina. How you doing, Tina?
I'm hanging in there, Rob. How you doing?
I'm about the same.
Oh.
I'm not for similar reasons, just in general.
Okay. Spill the beans.
Life. Yeah, I think it's just a life thing. Like the other day I was talking with somebody at work and I was just like this and that and this. And, you just think you're going to be somewhere else and you're not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like sometimes I go, oh, I thought things were going to be different. But no, they're not. So.
I've heard people say that before, and I've never like judged myself. Oh, you should be here at this age, or you should be there at that age, because some things I did way sooner, and then others I did way later. So I just had the realization not to put that much, stress on it. And
right.
I never thought I'd be divorced living at my dad's house, but here I am killing it,
Yeah. I mean, yes, but that's not what I'm more thinking about, like
job wise
of things that were happening and then just kind of dissipated. You're like, oh, I thought that was going to be something different.
Thought it was going to pan out.
Yeah. And you're just like, well, and then I don't know. I started thinking like, why didn't that pan out? Like, where did it go?
Somebody
off the
once
rail?
told me that there's oh crap, I lost it. No, that you have to sometimes be grateful for the things that didn't happen. The unanswered prayers that you made and you made and you made, and then it felt like they weren't ever heard, or that they never came to be. But then I think, what are you being spared? Because that was another thing I heard, like, you don't know what you're being spared. And I think about that too. And I'm like, oh, maybe I shouldn't care,
Yeah. No, I understand. I kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
And look, like, I think it's easy to armchair quarterback your life.
Yeah, it is.
You know what I mean? Like, but I just think that, like, I was like, man, I was in a good place here a little while ago. And I was like, And again, like, I always think the opposite of that is, I'm sure I had something to do with it, at least a little bit. And that's probably true. And look, without going into too much detail, I always seem to be at the forefront of just some crazy shit. So, and I know I put myself inside that little box because of crazy stuff that I do in my life, but man, I'm too old to be doing that kind of shit, I think.
That's why I think something different.
Yeah, I think I need to not do things. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. We talk about what we were going to talk about something on the show today. I sent you a video.
And
you were like, I want to talk about that. Yeah. Well, look, there's a lot going on for you, so I didn't bring it up.
Yeah.
And we'll do it next week. And I want to sit down and rewatch the video and actually, clip it so we can have some of these insanely things that were said on it, so we can play them on here.
It actually made me mad. I was like, Rob, why'd you have to send this to me?
Oh, yeah. I knew when I pressed the button.
I was like, you ass, I don't want to be upset today. And I talked about it because I was upset all day about it. Like it affected me. And oh yeah. Great times.
And get this, I waited to send you that because I watched it at like 5 o'clock in the morning before work. And I was like, what the fuck? And then, so I bookmarked it on my YouTube and I was like, oh, someone else is getting this today. And I was like, oh, I've been meaning to send her that. Well, I told you I was going to send you one and I just haven't yet. But I thought that one, there were so many obnoxious things said, I was like, oh yeah, this is the one. So basically it's a dating thing with women and men and how we're really going in opposite directions, but we'll talk about it next week. Cause it was I wanted
disturbing.
actually,
I was pissed off.
Yeah. And I want to deep dive into it more because I want to actually re-listen to it again. And like I said, I'm going to clip it
so we can listen to it again.
I think you're going to have to again. I think probably right before we do the show, but I'm going to clip some of the ones that I think are just obnoxious.
I'm going to do it when I'm already in a bad mood, not when I'm in a good mood, because
that
was a lot. Not fun. I was mad.
Yeah. So obviously if you're listening to this, it's Wednesday still, but really late because we couldn't record yesterday like we usually record on Mondays or Tuesdays. For the people who don't know, it's like we do it literally right before the show comes out because we have lives on the weekends and we do things, and you're writing a lot and a bunch of other things.
Yeah.
So yesterday we couldn't do it because you had some personal things. So I was like, today let's just bullshit about things and like whatever comes up. So, and I think that sometimes that is what we all need to do. Because like we talk about lots of things on this, a lot of personal stuff, and, deep diving into real deep personal stuff. We scratched the surface. There's some things that I think that, not that we can't talk about, just, I think there's other people involved.
Mm-hmm.
And even though we don't talk about things on this show, it's easy for people on the outside to insinuate. And I've had many people, because I'll talk about something and then someone else will think it's about them.
Everybody thinks it's about them.
Correct. Which, I hate to say this, but that's kind of the point of a podcast, is to put yourself in the place of said character.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that like we're telling stories, because what we talk about is very true.
Yep.
But that is part of this, is that someone out there, when I tell a story, there's a character on the other side of that is 100% real.
Mm-hmm.
But it could have been from 5 months ago, or it could have been from 10 years ago. So I want to kind of throw something out there for the people who listen to this show. It's not always about you. Okay.
Yes.
Because it's not. And because I've had interactions with people from my past, again, it doesn't mean it's about you.
Right.
Because some people from my past of 20 years ago, I've had, I've hung out with, recently, and they don't even live in this state. So for some people who might be thinking it's about them or someone else, it's not. It's about someone who lives out of state. So in the case of just this show in general, take it for what it is. It's two people talking about real life shit and throwing their opinions into it.
Very true.
That was the whole idea when we sat down in Denny's. I said, I have this idea. I want to kind of do this, and this, but I want to give our opinions of obviously a male and a female. That was kind of the premise of this from the very beginning. Even though me and you have very similar moral compasses,
Do we though?
So like, that's why we don't, I mean, all in all, yes, because we don't argue a lot on here.
No.
So we, you know, I think our moral compasses are similar. Doesn't mean they're the same. Mm-hmm. I just think that they walk down the same dirty alley.
Well, we also grew up in the same place during the same time with the same people. You know, there's
correct.
Same influences for sure.
I mean, that's true, but it's not, because there's people that are very close to me that I'm nothing like, but I still consider them my friends.
Oh, for sure.
Because
me too.
But a lot of people wouldn't, unfortunately. Yeah. I'm sure to them I'm a redheaded stepchild. They're like, oh, blah, 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 Rob. And people go, oh, which is okay. Guy. Yeah. Because look, I've said it on here many times, and I think you have the same. I think that's why we get along so well, Tina, because me and you both have kind of the same look. We're either liked or we're not, and we're both okay with it.
Yep. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, like, you have to be. I mean, we're not kids anymore. This is, you know, at some point you got to get over shit.
But I know full-fledged adults that give a shit what people think about them. Mm. And look, there's nothing wrong with that either. That's fine if that's who you are. I have no problem with that. And look, I kind of commend them. Like, they do give a shit about how people see them. I'm just to the point where it's like, look, I'm me. Mm-hmm. I can't change now. And I say crazy shit sometimes, and it comes back to bite me every blue moon.
Right.
It happens. But I've had people listen to this show who are close to me, but not like that I see them. Right. So they could live, state away. They could live 5 states away. I have a friend in Iowa that listens to this show that texted me this morning and she went, "Why isn't there a show out today?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, we're working on that today. Sorry. This is what happened." And she goes, "Oh, okay, cool. I was just wondering," like, I was like, and I think it was really just like, I listened to the show every week. I was just wondering why you guys weren't on. And I kind of took that because I haven't seen this girl, like personally seen her since I was 18 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. It was the summer I went back to Iowa, but she's such a good person. She's funny. She sends me like pictures of her cats doing dumb shit. It's like, it's super cool. She's married. She's got kids. It's interesting to think about the girl that I met that summer and that she's like a mom and a career lady. Yeah. And it's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And probably similar to like how we see high school friends. Sometimes you run into them and you're like, "Oh yeah, you're a lawyer now." Like, oh, that's weird. It's just odd.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that, and I think that she gets, the humor of the show, and she gets the, our friendship and how it works. But, my bigger thing with this is like, don't take it personally. It's probably not about you.
Or maybe it is.
Or maybe it is.
Maybe it is.
I think, look, if you think it's about you, it probably is. You know what I mean? Like, and I have, look, I have nicknames for a lot of people mm-hmm. because it works. And then they know I'm talking about them. And I'm okay with that because the people that I do talk about on here, I would consider them amazing friends, even though I haven't talked to some of them in a while. So I would have no problem if I said something on here and she texts me tomorrow and said, "Hey, And I'd go, okay, well, this is what I meant. And that would be it. It wouldn't even go deeper than that. It wouldn't have to. So I'm glad that we can be us, teen, because, you've gone through a lot of stuff. A lot of people don't know like how deep the thing is with your house and how it's been in rubble for a year and a half.
It'll be 2 years in July.
2
next
years.
month.
Yeah. So like, and we've talked about it on here and in haha and in jest and not like, and I know you're going through it and you want it done. Cause like, I understand 2 years though. I would fucking want to kill somebody.
Oh, you just don't know.
Oh no. I can imagine. My imagination is that good, Tina. And I'm sure your dad wants to, pardon the Indian haha, but scalp him. Like it's a lot.
It's a lot.
So,
yeah.
And I've seen it. Some days you're great with it. And then other days you're like, and I was like, oh, and I remember when I came out there, I know months and months ago. And it was interesting to walk in your place. And I was like, oh, it's empty. It was just like, and so even though we say things about people on here and we insinuate because of people from our past or our present, because that is also, things that are there. We're still people, we're still human. And
completely. I mean, what else would we be, Rob?
No, but I mean, people think that like, oh, you get on here and, I don't come on here and tell stories to tell stories.
Yeah.
Because we talk about things.
I don't come on with any real like agenda at all. I just sit and talk to my friend for 45 minutes or so and
yeah,
then I'm on my way.
Exactly. And I think other people don't understand that too.
No,
like there's like a 10 minutes in the beginning that no one ever hears because it's just us bullshitting. And then there's about 5 minutes at the very end that no one hears.
Yeah.
And then literally it's like, oh, cool, Tina, I'll talk to you in a couple of days and we'll talk about it next week.
Here's how I am. This should break it down for you. So Rob comes over to my ex's house because we're going to do a podcast over at his house. So we all meet up there. Rob comes and he has his tablet and his notes and what have you and all the gear because he had to bring it. And my ex shows up and he's got notes on a clipboard and his drink and he's all ready. And I just came with a jar of weed. That was what I showed up with. I really don't come with an agenda. I mean, if you want me to know something ahead of time or you want me to talk about it, yes, I'll check it out. I'll look into it. But what you get with me is what's going on right now in my head at the moment that we're recording.
Yeah, that's 100% true.
Yeah.
For people who don't know, every blue moon, I'll come on here with some notes as well. Every blue moon.
Yeah. But it's just...
Oh, man, your ex.
Oh, he has enough notes for both of us. I told him that and he laughed. He's like, yeah, I guess I did some research or whatever. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I was like, I remember like I had my iPad in front of me and I just had some like, I can, if you guys said something, I could drive the conversation.
Yeah.
Like literally it was maybe like 7 sentences. And then I look over and he's got a fucking notebook and I was like, holy shit. And
I'm sure he has a lot that he would like to say to me, obviously, because we didn't really fight or anything. But when I saw the notepad, I'm like, ooh, I could be getting in trouble today.
Yeah.
But the weed was the perfect thing to have with me for that. Because if it was going to be something, I knew he'd tell the truth. But I was like, oh, he's going to sock it to me. Let's go.
I kind of thought the same. When I first saw the notes, I was like, okay. Like,
but in
my head, I was more like, this could get bad really quickly.
Yeah.
and then I started thinking, I'm here and this could get bad really quickly and I don't want to be uncomfortable.
No, you could have been. I was uncomfortable for you, to be honest. I was like, "Ooh, he's got some things he wants to say to me." And I was like, "Oh, Rob's going to have to hear this. I don't even like hearing this. I don't even like going through this. Oh, fuck." I didn't know. I mean, yeah. But I did know that. Here's the flip side. I also know the person that had asked to be on the show. I know him. He's my ex. He's still very much my people. And I do know him, and I do know his character, and I bet on it, and I'm glad I did. I think it was good for us to talk, and there were some things when I heard how he felt, or I saw the look in his eyes, that I just went back and apologized for. I mean, I don't need to do that, but it seemed like it really hurt him, and I'm just not trying to leave him hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a good thing all around, but I think about it like, what the hell were you thinking, T? Like, you just, let's go straight at it.
Yeah. I think in general, this show, what's the best way I could put this? This show can go sideways at any time. But then when you add another person to it, because and I mean sideways with me and you, like we just go on a tangent, like it can go.
Yeah.
When I mean me and you go sideways, I have to ring in what we're talking about, because we'll go on it'll turn somewhere.
Yeah.
The times we've had people on, though, it can go really dark, and I have to kind of go, okay, how am I going to wrangle this in?
Mm-hmm.
Or like with him, like I didn't have to wrangle him. He came back to it, but I was like about 10 or 15 minutes in, I was like, okay, well, nothing's crazy has been said yet. Like, I don't think he's going to do anything.
Losing her mind yet.
Yeah. And neither of you said anything crazy. So for me, that was that made it really interesting for me.
Yeah.
But this show, for at least, again, we've talked about it a lot over the years now. I think this is, what episode are we on?
I don't even know.
That we're getting close to 250.
Holy crap.
Yeah.
I didn't know that this would go like even past 10 episodes. When we first started, I had no idea what this was going to entail and what it takes to pull it off. I had no clue. But here we are, like 4 years later, is it?
Yeah. This will be 244. So like we're close. We'll be at 250 in a couple of months.
And that's pretty much 5 years.
Yeah, this show started on September 16th of 2021.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was the first episode that dropped.
Shit.
Who
knew? Who knew?
No one. I mean, I made it I made it a plan because I remember I had told you that most of them don't make it past 11.
Yeah.
And I was like, there's no way we're not going to make it to 11. I was like, we have to do like more than the normal, because I did so much research on like just podcasts in general, and people it's a lot.
It is a lot. It's not a lot for me. I'll be honest. Rob's referred to me as the talent. I'm embarrassed to say that, but it's true. He's the tech guy. He knows how to do all the stuff. I still don't have the camera on my computer working. I don't know what the hell I did, but Rob's going to have to fix that too. It's just, and then I made us blue. So now I don't know what the hell I did, and it's getting bad. We're all blue now.
Here's the thing though. Like, and I don't mean that it's a lot. I mean, look, I've gotten a lot better. And matter of fact, here's the funny thing about this show. Because of YouTube, I continue to learn things. So I didn't tell you, I meant to tell you to listen to last week's show. So I found a way to get both of our audio feeds and match them so they sound exactly the same.
Mm.
So it I don't know how the fuck it does it. It's it's a program. It basically, I put a section out of both of them that have audio, and I hit this little button and it raises yours and lowers mine or vice versa to where they're even. So like last week's show, I listened to it and it was so nice that I didn't sound low or you didn't sound low. And you generally don't, because I fix those type of things. But sometimes like I just can't. Man. And I was like, wow, that sounds. So I'm still learning. I learn all the time about like the program that I use. So, I don't mean it's a lot that ways. Because like, here's the thing, the backside has gotten much smoother and easier because I've learned so much.
Right.
But sometimes like just getting this done, because we both have lives. So sometimes it's nice to get ahead. We've got ahead several times on this show and we plan on it again.
Behind, and then we get ahead and then we get behind.
Yeah. Well, because here's the thing, we get ahead and then we don't continue to record.
Yeah.
Yeah. But look, life does happen. And like today, like the show will come out on Wednesday, but it'll be late. It'll probably be at like, Western time on Pacific Coast time. It'll come out before the end of the night, but on the East Coast, it'll come out probably tomorrow morning because I probably won't get it done until 9-ish o'clock.
And that's my fault.
No, it's not. It's no one's fault. Like, let's not look, you have life as well. And life yesterday kind of bonked us on the noggin.
Yeah.
So, I told you yesterday, don't even worry about it. We'll just skip a week.
Yeah.
And you're like, no. And I was like, okay. Cause I leave it up to you. Like the show is important to me, but I understand that, life and family come before everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and I've told you, several times, like I'm going to do a podcast alone with my kid one time because you won't have fun. I want to do it on anime and Japanese stuff. And you'd just be bored out of your, you'd be bored. But I'm going to record it and I'm going to keep it on the back burner. So that one will be a drop in. But it's an interesting thing because, look, we've had things happen over the last couple of months with other people out there. I mean, at least for me, people thinking it's about them or getting in trouble because of certain things or whatever. If you're listening to this show to find things out, you're probably barking up the wrong tree because we talk about so many different people that you're not going to be happy because you're going to put the situation you want to into that. And it can get you in a lot of trouble doing that. Thankfully, the people that are close to me can ask me about it. And I like that. Mm-hmm. But we talk about, like, I've talked about people, during my divorce time that don't even know this show exists. Like literally don't know. So if you're, be careful what you wish for because you're going to get it. Because in your own head, and look, I'm really good at that. I'm really good at like hearing something and going, I wonder if that's about me. Even though I don't do that anymore. I've really found myself doing that. That's where this show has been very therapeutic for me.
Yeah.
I think I've learned a lot from us talking.
Oh, I'm sure. I think I have too.
You kind of have to step back sometimes and realize that you say a lot of good things, and I know you're a person of faith, and it's awesome. And I've learned a lot with just, you're like, look, if it's meant to be, it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And if it's not, then it's not. And life goes on.
Right. That it does.
And it does. And my famous fucking thing with that is because it has to.
Yeah.
You know, people are in our lives for a reason. They exit our lives for a reason. And their life changes for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think is kind of awesome. You know, like I remember coming out of my divorce and I was pretty down. And I thought life was, you know, pretty bad. And I got a call to go to my high school reunion. And, you know, it was pretty wild to think back now because I didn't want to go to that fucking thing. And you were like, no, go. And I'm like, look, it's not a good time.
Come on, Rob.
I'm
you
broke.
want to do it. I got the ticket. Let's roll.
And you're like, you're going. I already bought a ticket for you. And I was like, oh, fuck. All right, I guess I'm going. So really, I mean, coming out of that, now looking back on it, you kind of like really held my hand out of that. To just go, look, you're going to be okay.
And you are.
And I mean, all in all, I'm okay. I don't know if I'm mentally okay, but
you're mentally fine. You just don't make all the right decisions all the right time. Maybe that's all it is. And that's it. Like just the choice.
I make some pretty bad decisions.
Who cares? Fuck. In whose standards? Because I've made some dingers in the last like few years, but if you look at what I'm doing, were they wrong? Was it the wrong thing to do? Was it you can't say that.
Well, because truly you don't know until, you know, a decision you make now may not really come to fruition for another 2 years
or more.
So I posted something the other day and you kind of laughed at it. And look, it's 100% true what I'm about to say. That's why I posted it. Cause I thought it was kind of funny. And I don't know how many people, but I guarantee it's true. It says, I may not be famous, but someone's therapist knows my full name.
Oh man. I could definitely say I could relate to that.
Yeah. I'll tell you, maybe not my full name, but they know my first name and they really know it.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you for sure because
if you don't piss off somebody like that. Come on now.
No, but here's the funny part. I didn't piss anybody off. She just told her therapist about me. I think that was more than anything. Right. And it wasn't like, oh, he's an asshole. It was more probably that, oh, he's a little much. But, you know, at the end of the day, I think if your name's in some therapy notes, you mean something to somebody.
Yeah.
And I know I'm not saying good or bad.
I'm
just saying you mean something. You mean something to somebody. So look, at the end of the day, me and you, the stories we don't tell, you know, I hope will hopefully come out, you know, by, you know, episode 350, you know, somewhere in the next couple of years. But, because I think that they're important stories to tell. I just think that, other things have to happen for them to come out to where we're all okay with them. And I mean, for us, like we need to be okay. We need to be able to say certain things and be okay with it. Cause like we've come out about like, I come out about my marriage. You came out about your daughter, like things that have happened in our lives that are deep. Like these are real things. And real feeling and look, death, you know, you've talked about your mom. My mom died during the show.
Yeah.
So, you know, people who listen to this and I think that they know who we are, at least on an under the skin level, just on what we say.
Yeah.
And if you keep listening like we're doing now, it's just going to get more because life is always revolving for us.
Yeah. Well, of course, like for everybody. I swear, though, I feel like I have way more deaths in my life than anybody else I know.
Yeah.
I kind of do.
I mean, you kind of do it. But again, I think you also have
a big ass family.
A big ass family. Yeah. That will always do it. Like my best friend, he's Hispanic. And look, Hispanics have big families. I hope that doesn't come off as, utterly racist, but it's true. I remember growing up around him and him like talking about, oh, this person died or that person died. And, and he's been my best friend since I was 12.
Mm-hmm.
So, 50 years or 40 years, 40 something years. And it's never not happened. Like, he was like, this person died or, and his father passed away and his stepdad passed away and all these things where, life happens and it happens fast. Mm-hmm. Even the last couple of years with us, since the beginning of the podcast, really, and before that as well, but really during the years of this podcast, man, we've seen a lot of stuff happen. Mm-hmm. And you don't realize it until sometimes you sit back and look back. And I mean, how the world is, how our world is, the relationships in our life, all these different things are catalysts to who we are. And I hope why people listen to this, because they're getting bluntness about what's going on. Mm-hmm. Your story for me, see, like I love doing this show with you, Teen, because you're, for one, I can bounce things off of you and you're utterly truthful. And look, a lot of people aren't, you know what I mean? Like,
I don't know how
a lot of us have friends, but we all have friends that are yes people.
Oh yeah.
All of us. And then we all have friends that are no people. I have a couple of Debbie Downers that no matter what the fuck you say to them, they're like, they will find, the shit stain in the underwear in whatever you're talking about. But then I have the other friends that are like, oh yeah, like, she's probably the greatest thing in the whole world. It's like, okay. And then I have people in the middle. And then I have you, because I'll tell you and you'll go, I might not do it, but yeah, give it a try. And I was like, oh, well, shit. All right. And there's not enough people who tell you shit like that. Well, you're straight up. You're like, I wouldn't do it. But you should give it a try. And I was like, because for me, think about like, and anyone listening, think about your friend telling you something like that. It's the most oxymoron shit in the world. You're like, well, wait a second, but you wouldn't, but you're telling me to,
fuck it. Who am I to stop you from having a good time?
That's kind of the thing. And look, without getting too deep into people in my life, even, it's been like 8 or 9 years. There was a girl in my life that I was having relations with, let's just say.
No.
And even though I would tell you things, you never were like, yeah, don't do that anymore. you're like, okay, well, there's repercussions to this.
Yeah. Well, you know what's going to happen,
Yeah.
Can you deal with the consequences? That's how it is in life with everything, though.
Yeah. Well, and the end consequences was that person getting married to somebody else.
Oh.
The long-term consequences. Look, with all my soirees with people out there, with women in my life, I'll tell you now, I don't regret a single day with hanging out with these people. She was in my life for a reason, and I think I was in her life for a reason as well.
For sure.
She's probably found a great dude for her. And looking from the outside in now, I think that I was just she's a great woman, but I think we probably long run probably wouldn't have worked.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a sweetheart, and she deserves the world because she went through a lot of shit. She would actually be great to be on this podcast and have us talk about her past, because her past is like, holy shit. But look, so bouncing things off of you for me is the sole reason to have people listen to this show, because you're so honest
Try to be.
that sometimes it's funny to listen to. I mean, I was listening to a show the other day. I was listening to the show about the numbers of the people we've had sex with, right?
Yeah. That was the most uncomfortable show because I wasn't giving up numbers.
No, but at the very end, for people who haven't listened to it, I'll try to find the number right now. It's the end of it is utterly funny. It's 232. It's the body count debate. At the end of the show, team, the greatest thing ever happens. You go, as you can tell, Rob, I don't give a shit about this. And I was like, oh my, and it was great because I'm in the car driving to work, hysterically laughing at a show that I recorded with you that I didn't remember you saying that, because it was from March of this year. And I just didn't remember. And I'm in the car laughing on my way to work, and I go, oh yeah. And then I heard something else that I said that I know somebody else listened to and thought it was about them. And I'm driving in and I go, man, what a sucker. Like that had nothing to do with them.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate because it's about somebody else, and they probably have listened to that show and went, oh yeah, that's about me.
Yep.
Because I have, it's funny because she'll ask me about things like she'll see the title of a show even today and go, is that about me? And sometimes it is. Like the last week's, the one that got away, and she was like, is that about me? And I was like, I sorta.
Like, I don't get questioned, thankfully, on any of the podcasts because nobody that's close to me listens to it. So
it was,
I don't think
it was funny.
Know.
Right. And look, was that show partly about her? Absolutely. Because this is a person that has been in my life recently.
Yeah.
But I also had to tell her, I go, look, listen to the show, because like we went off on a tangent about like the one that got away is sometimes a thing, like something we didn't do, or, a different part of life. It wasn't always necessarily a person that got away. It was the one that got away could have been, we missed a trip to Hawaii. And she was like, oh, I said, yeah, like, sure. Like, because we all have one that got away, or some of us do. And so at the end of the day, like today we were like, what do we talk about? And I'm like, let's just bullshit, because you're going through stuff with your family. And I wanted something that would be very easy going and just saying
Yeah.
crazy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess I do want to talk about my family for a minute.
Let's do it.
One of my, so when I was young, my mom worked for her friend's husband's construction company. She did the books and ran the office. And this woman who had 4 kids with one of the guys that worked for the company that my mom worked at. She was very good friends with my mom and dad, and so her kids, who are younger than me, but not terribly younger. Well, they did get much younger. So where am I going with that? Anyway, this woman that was her husband worked with my mom. She got divorced from him, and then I introduced her to my uncle, and they became a family. They got married, and she had 4 kids, 3 girls and a boy, and he had 2 boys and a girl, and they became a family. And so it was weird because these people that I had known, the kids all their lives, known the moms before the kids were even born, are now my family. So I had 4 cousins that came into it, and my youngest cousin passed away the other day at the age of 36 from cancer. And I did also speak probably a month or 2 ago about my very first boyfriend passing away from cancer. And it's been a huge hit because these are people that were very close to me in my life. They're people that I loved dearly. They're people that I grew up with and were raised around us, and families intertwined. And we had to go and say goodbye to him, and he passed away a couple hours after I left. Normally I'm one of the people that stays, as long as I can. And I just couldn't do it. Like it literally broke my heart to say goodbye to my cousin because he was so fun and we had such a good time. And when he was little, he used to sit in my lap and hold my face and just like, he'd look at me like I was the best thing ever. And he just loved and adored me. And he learned how to catcall like I did while my brother and his and his friends played hockey. He learned the same. Like I couldn't tell whose was whose. We sounded exactly alike. And over the years, he would come to me for advice on things, and he just was a love, and he was one of my favorites. And he lost his battle to cancer. It took less than a year. It went everywhere. It was in his bones. It was in his brain. It was on his lungs. It just went everywhere. And he just had such a great outlook, and he had so many friends, and he was so positive. And I have friends that know him from him working at the pizza shop. I have friends that know him from being, family to us. I have all these people in my life that know him, and making the phone calls and telling everybody has just been heart-wrenching for me. So the last few days I've really been going through it. My aunt and my cousins are really going through it. My uncle, all of us. My brother didn't have words for it. He was really struggling to talk to me, and I had to just give him a hug and say I know, and try to let him off the hook for saying what he's saying. So right now it's just been a really hard time. So
yeah,
but I feel like the older I get, the closer I am to them, because I know I'll be there one day. And it, time is relevant, and we don't know how long we have on this earth, but I know because of what I've been through that I'm going to see them again. But I was kind of jealous when he passed because he gets to be with all the people I miss.
right.
And he doesn't get to be here. And, so this is my second cousin that we used to make fun of the family together. And now he's not here either. And I'm kind of sad because there's not going to be anybody to talk shit with or to joke with or to say things. And, And I don't know, we're just really feeling the loss. So
you're going to be like, what the, who's going to rag on the rest of the family?
Oh my God. Yeah. And you know what? We just need a couple of those people in the family. And I'm kind of missing my two favorite ones. So it's been a kind of a rough few days, and the families, like I said, they're going through it. We're all trying to be supportive. And the weird thing was my dad used to carve stone. And when people that he had given pieces to, or they had bought the stone pieces that he had carved, the family would give them back to my dad after the person would pass. And I used to think, oh my God, like he's going to have all these pieces from all these people that passed. What do you do with them? You can't sell them. You can't give them. Like, what do you do with it? Right. Well, today I had to experience that again because my cousin sent me a picture of the basket that I had made my younger cousin for his sobriety birthday. And she said, I'll make sure you get this back. And there's a part of me that doesn't want it back, but then there's a part of me that does, like maybe I'll make a shadow box or something. But I don't know. Everything just feels really raw right now and hard.
Right.
And so, yeah, thank you for just doing, my cat is trying to sit on my microphone right now. But yeah, just so thank you for making it an easy podcast where we could just talk about people that think that you're talking about them when, you know what, all you guys should know is we're talking about all of you.
Right. I'm glad you did that in a nice low voice too. That sounded so mysterious and mean.
Right. It is. It's meant to be mean. Like, get over it. If we're talking about something on this show and you don't like it, maybe you should make better decisions, because we're going to use things from our lives to talk about on this show. And if if it happens to fall in your lap that you're doing the wrong thing, I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. Too bad we know about it,
That's kind of true. Sorry, but
sorry, not sorry. This is life, and we're talking. Deal with it. We're not trying to hurt anybody. We're not judging anybody. You kind of did it to yourself.
Yeah.
But
I think in a lot of cases. Yeah. I mean, look, at the end of the day, thanks for the material. You know what I mean? Like, but with that comes us, like if we're talking about you or if we're talking about a situation, realize that it also either has or is affecting us.
Yeah.
I mean, life is a roller coaster.
And last I checked, we didn't need anybody's consent.
No. Well, that's why we don't say any names. Yeah. It keeps us legal, which is the best part. But also, look, I don't want to bring people's shit into this. But I also need, sometimes what happens to our friends and family help other people. Mm-hmm. And I know that people don't like to hear that, but people have listened to this show that are friends of mine that have told me, like, oh, I'm really glad you guys talked about this. I was like, well, that's nice. Like, I didn't realize, that it happened like that. So, I'm glad that we can open up people's minds sometimes. I think it's necessary, and vice versa. I'm glad that sometimes people say things to me and it opens up my mind and I get to think, because I've changed my mind or thought differently about stuff because of this, or hearing certain things. Like there's early shows, if people go back, that were a bit much for me, and made me think differently about being a dude or how you need to do things or how you talk to people.
Yeah.
So it's definitely, it's important. And look, at the end of the day, this is all I'll say since, we'll roll this and wind it up. If you think it's about you, it probably is. And try not to be too upset because you're either helping somebody or you're telling a story without having your name dragged through the mud.
I'll say, I never learned anything as well as I did when I messed it all up. So if we're talking about you or we're talking about a situation that isn't favorable right now, I guarantee you're learning a lot from it. And, we're all human. That's what we're here for.
That's a great way of putting it. That's a perfect way to end this because that's 100% true.
Well, thank you.
Hey, I've been trying to be better about the social medias. I'm going to really kind of kick it into gear now that summer's coming. So you'll be getting more information about the show, probably a couple times a week. You can listen to us on everywhere, but thankfully Spotify and Apple are the lead ways to listen to this show, and you guys are doing it for us. We've had some really great months. Thank you so much. And look, it's an opinion show. Don't get it twisted. Keep coming back every Wednesday. I'm Rob. That's Tina. And we'll talk to you in a week. Bye.
See ya.